Alrighty. Hello and welcome everyone to Let's Level Press. I'm Mr. Black, this is Violet, and unfortunately neither of us are feeling terribly well this evening, so a fair warning ahead of time. This evening's stream may run a little short, and I know I am going to be a little low energy as compared to my usual standard.
We're going to have to repeat some of this because we're the only ones currently on.
Oh, well, okay then.
According to my chat thing, which may be incorrect. I don't know.
I'm used to our usual viewers blitzing us to the chat room.
I know.
Okie dokie. I think I shall resume my quest to acquire a greater library.
Yay!
Which entails essentially reaching the College of Winterhold, such that I can start bugging Captain Orc Librarian dude into letting me buy books.
I'm glad to have met you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not even completely sure whether I'll export this stream over to YouTube, because unless you're just really looking for something quiet and chilled in the background of whatever else you may be doing, I'm not sure I can deliver anything entirely entertaining right now.
They're reforming the Dawn God.
Dawn God?
The Dawn God!
I love the way he says that. I've always laughed at that guy.
Don't be mean.
Does that make me a terrible person?
A little, maybe. Possibly.
I'm okay with this.
Ow. Don't make me laugh. It hurts. Is there a chicken? Is the chicken witness here?
It is the chicken witness. Anybody who's already here.
Waskar says, hello, my beautiful peoples.
Guten
Oh,
Nacht.
first. Yes, you are. You are the
Indeed,
first one
indeed.
here.
And as I mentioned to the audience that didn't actually exist until you arrived, neither Viri or completely well at the moment. I've been kind of sick all week, unfortunately, and she accidentally had a bit of corn and something earlier, so she is having some unfortunate abdominal pain, and I'm just like really drained. Like I tried to record some yesterday and the day before and before that, and other than recording a few reading from the Elder Scrolls videos and the TDP5 thing yesterday, like that was all I had energy for. And even that one, like in post, I went to edit it and I could tell like my commentary was all over the place. It wasn't my usual like standard, but I don't necessarily care over much, because that game, at the risk of sounding arrogant, that game doesn't necessarily even deserve me at my best.
Oh, Waskar says, it's all good. I'm under the weather as well.
Oh, bummer.
No. Why is everything on fire? Is that a book?
Yeah. Yisra. Who the hell is Yisra, and why did you light everything on fire? Oh, because Flamecloak. And
I don't think it went right.
you're a novice. Ha, ha, ha. Well,
That's sad.
unfortunate for you. Hilarious for me. I'm a terrible person.
You are.
And a fair warning. When I'm not feeling well, my humor goes into very dark
It
places.
does. He's not lying. He is not lying. I can attest. We've been together since 2008. I can attest to this.
My morality dwindles away with my mood.
I wonder what that says about you. That's okay. I love you anyway. Or I wouldn't have married you.
Okay, what is here? I could have sworn there would be like an altar or something up here.
I think it's underneath.
Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I told you, it's a
Cave.
TV thing.
Okay.
Can we go in? I want to go in. Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, I went to record a first 15 on Arcage, the new MMO. Of course, it's not actually as new as I originally thought it to be. Released on Steam yesterday, or rather re-released on Steam yesterday. And I got just a few minutes into it, and I could not continue. It just, wow. Son, I am so disappointed. Okay, oh, hi, Draugr. Let's see.
Ghost says, finally, Twitch finally let me log in. Tears. Oscar says, for them cold winter days, who needs a fur cloak? I use fire.
Yeah, I noticed the both of you guys in Starbound a little while ago. Are you guys just both enjoying it, or did you figure out what we could not and actually get co-op to function? Because we couldn't figure out how to do it. Although with Ghost at the helm, little is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Considering him essentially acting as our IT is what kind of got him into the community. Oh god, no. Get wrecked.
I'm upset with myself.
Hmm.
I can't remember the name for the type of knife that I want my character to use now. Cooking knife, big.
Butcher knife?
Thank you.
Oh wow, that did nothing.
Starbound is awesome, but we are not at the point of using multiplayer. Soon though, after we both learn it more thoroughly.
Gotcha.
They must have just been playing around with it,
Yeah.
probably chatting.
It
Although
really
learning
is.
together is fun.
Yeah, it's a great downtime game.
Oh, it is so much fun.
Hey, back here. Whoa. Don't hit Janasa. There we go. Damn, Janasa, you scary.
Oh yeah, it is her. I mean, there is a reason why we like to pick her, you know.
Indeed.
Because she's
Ow. Ooh, hello.
Is it just me, or are you guys really quiet? We're probably really quiet.
Yeah, I am not elevating my voice to the degree that I usually do. I apologize for that. I
Should
just
we like turn
don't.
up the mic or something?
I don't have. Well, maybe. Hang on. Maybe the mic thingy volume actually got bumped. Yeah, it was a little bit down. Can you hear me now?
I don't know. Can
Like I am speaking a little bit softer than usual, just because I'm so low energy right now. Rondio's journal, day 1. It seems the cretins of Dawnstar are not quite as foolish as I had surmised. They found my experimentations, and needless to say, were not pleased with what they saw. No matter. My work can only flourish without the distractions of living amongst the unenlightened. I have found a cave off the north coast of Skyrim that will be more than sufficient for my continued studies. The ruins of Ingvild should hold the materials I need to learn more about reanimating and enslaving the dead. On a personal note, I will miss the young maidens of Dawnstar. Such beauty was intoxication. I often found my thoughts wandering around them, imagining secret encounters between myself and one or two of the local girls.
Ghost says, a little better, let me boost you.
Alrighty.
Okay. Oscar says, where is everyone?
I don't know, man.
And then Noah says, cheeky preeky. I'm not going to read the rest of it. Because, ow.
Cheeky, breaky, donkey.
Yes, that's exactly it.
I figured it would be.
Talking
he
kind of
is-
hurts a little bit right now.
He is the cheeky breakster, after all.
Yes, he is. He definitely is. He so is.
I hope you never want to get away from that nickname, because you're never losing it as far as I'm concerned.
Nope, that's just it from now on. I'm sorry. I hope that's okay.
Okie
I was
dokie.
gonna do a thing. What was I gonna do? Ugh.
And a catch up for you guys that have just arrived. neither Vi or I are feeling well, so maybe a short and low-key stream this evening. I didn't want to cancel outright, so I decided I'm just gonna relax a little bit with some Skyrim. And I may, in a little while, switch over to the forest, because apparently it updated kind of recently, and there are now boars in the game, and I kind of wonder whether or not they are at all friendly. But it'd be kind of nice to have hostile entities in the world that aren't just the cannibals. And
a word of warning for you guys, my internet's been wonky for the last several days, so I apologize if it cuts out on us.
Also, another update. I will not, in fact, actually need to make the emergency trip out to El Paso as soon as I originally thought. I received a call from my mom a couple of days ago, kind of updating me on exactly what's going on with my grandma, and I've actually read all of this before, so unless you guys particularly want me to, I'm not going to worry about reading those. And we got good and bad news, essentially. Oh god.
Noah asks, have you ever been to a restaurant so bad you flat out left?
Yep.
I had to do that and did not have fun. Yeah.
Yep.
We've had to do that.
Once or twice. Not often, but...
Thankfully, not often.
Anyway, the doctors were actually able to figure out what's wrong with her hip after she fell, and the good news is they were able to figure out exactly what broke, and the weird news is some veteran doctors who'd been doing it for 30 years never saw a break like that, such that it's basically one of the bones in the very center of one's hip. They've never seen it where that breaks, but nothing else around it does. And thankfully, when it broke, it didn't move. It didn't like chip or it didn't like shift or anything. It just kind of cracked through and then just stayed still, which means it'll actually heal up relatively easily. Unfortunately, from what my mom can gather, while she obviously right now, while it's still healing, is gonna need some help moving around and stuff.
She's backpedaled.
Yeah, she's very much backpedaled on being willing to move because she's fixated upon the phrase "you will heal," which I can understand. However, her mental clarity, my mom has discovered, is not what it once was. And she's not willing to hand her the keys over again.
Yeah. By the way, Noah says, shout out to Pinocchio's Pizza for flat out getting us a whole none of our food. Wow, that's pretty bad.
You heard it here, folks. Pinocchio's Pizza. They are total noobs.
Their noses must be really long for lying about all that food that they have.
Anyway, what all of that means is right now, my mom is essentially just kind of in a holding pattern out there with her, just trying to figure out, okay, what exactly are we going to do? Like, can we find somebody to come and just check in on her in her home where she wants to stay on a daily basis? Do we need to move her into assisted living or something? A lot of that is unknown right now, so... unfortunately, I cannot give you guys a definite answer as to whether or not I'll need to make a run out to go and help with any moves that may need to take place. It could be a couple of weeks from now, it could be 6 months from now, it could be a year from now, I have no idea, which is kind of frustrating and kind of stressful, but it is what it is. And so I originally intended for this week to be a heavy recording week to build up a content cache from which I could distribute videos, you know, if I needed to leave. Unfortunately, you know, health being what it has been, I've unfortunately not gotten the chance to do that, because I tried a couple of times, and certain episodes I got like 5 minutes in, and they just absolutely fell on their faces, and I was just like, nah, I can't release this. This is utter shit. I can't release an episode like this. So that's why a couple of the episodes I've released lately have been kind of low-key, and once I get my energy back, once I actually start feeling well again, ooh, hello, I plan on finally what I've been talking about for quite a while now. I need to record a little more turbo dismount. I have a mighty need. However, turbo dismount, like Rage, kind of requires a certain element of energy, which I do not possess right now. But, yeah, like after the really heavy Skyrim mod spotlight I released a few days ago, and then all the kind of dry reading from the Elder Scrolls stuff, we need a little something to lighten the mood.
I cannot tell if nobody's talking or if my internet's just stupid. I'm assuming that it's because there's just not that many people.
Yeah, it's kind of quiet tonight, although that's actually kind of a good thing for me. And a thank you to anybody, whether you're watching this on Twitch or... I've kind of changed my mind. I think I will export this over to YouTube, because I know a lot of folks that actually watch the stream archives don't necessarily go for high energy. They just want something to watch for quite a while. So.
Cynical Pixel says, "Hello, Mr. Black."
Welcome back.
And Ghost says it was nobody talking, not that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. What was I saying? I kind of lost my train of thought.
Exporting.
Before that.
I don't know. Cynical Pixel says, "Hey Ghost, hey Vi, hey everyone else on at the moment."
Hola, senora.
And Beetle1 says, "Must say, the Starbound really changed its graphical design." And also, hello, Mr. Black and all you other adventurers. Hi.
Am I still listed as playing Starbound? My bad.
So, you might want to fix that.
I thought I updated.
It might not have taken.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, can you guys see the game right now?
You guys can see it. I'm assuming yes, because he mentioned the graphical
Yeah, that's true.
looks, but...
My bad. I apologize for that. I usually try to avoid those kinds of rookie mistakes right now, but...
We're tired.
Yeah, I'm not, like, sleepy, because I actually slept really well last night, but...
That doesn't mean that we're not feeling...
I'm just drained and fatigued.
Good-naturedly is a word, right?
Kinda. It's either an adjective or an adverb, depending upon how you use it.
I know, but, like, it's an actual word.
If it isn't, it's close enough.
Because...
It kind of falls into that Shakespearean category of, if you know what I mean when I say it, I think it qualifies as a word.
Because it keeps trying to tell me I'm spelling it wrong, and it just wants me to say naturally, and I'm like, that's not the word.
Good naturally.
I know. I'm like, no, what are you even? Noah says, Simple Pixel says, I rebooted Steam. It doesn't say you are, and yes, we can see. Noah says, yes, GameWorks title is the only goofy thing.
Okay.
Oscar says, well, this game is Starbound, isn't it? That's what the title says. Don't you lie to me.
Ow. Twitch lied to you.
This isn't Starbound, this is Hotline Miami, wrong numbers. Ow, you're making me hurt.
It's not nearly enough blood and violence to be Hotline Miami. I've come to find I've got like a weird sort of like definition of taste that's kind of coming to being. Like I've started to, with the exception of strategy games, really dislike top-down games of almost any sorts, with very sparing exception. And not for any objective reason, it's just my taste has gotten more specific over time.
No, it says, well, you got the wrong number part right. Is this a nice phony run of Stalker?
Yeah, I got that mod that had swords into Stalker. It's really obscure, you probably haven't heard of it. I don't know, what would a Stalker hipster be called? A Stalkster?
That sounds lame.
It does sound lame. Really glad that water was deep. I saw an altar thing over there. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Bear, back off! This is not Pillars of Eternity. Come now. Which, no, I do not own. Anyone curious?
This Grand Theft Horse? So this Oscar, it's Grand Theft Horse.
Yeah, I watched the game theory video, the You're Being Played video last night from MatPat, and I didn't realize at first that the original Grand Theft Auto was originally meant to be more of like a tame cops and robbers kind of thing.
Seriously?
Where players, I think, were going to like alternate between playing as criminals and law enforcement, but they found that within their own developing studio and like with all the testers originally with the like alpha builds of the game, everybody reported so much more fun with just breaking the game and going out and just causing havoc and mayhem. And so they eventually over time shifted more and more and more toward facilitating that, and eventually they just changed the name entirely to Grand Theft Auto. Originally it was, what was it, like, it was Chasing something, but
That sounds lame.
yeah, it was kind of. But let's see, what do these do? Nah, I don't want that.
Pixel says, Vi, whenever I look up at you and forgot to mute my phone. So sorry, guys.
Rookie mistakes all around tonight, jeez.
Shush.
We're one up, we're even.
Pixel says, Vi, whenever I look up at you and Mr. E in the top, it looks like you're wearing a Star Trek Federation officer's uniform. Yeah. I could rock that.
But that makes you a red shirt.
No, I'm an officer. I don't have to be... See, the red shirt is only a thing if you're a nameless ensign.
And what's my team?
If you're an officer, the red shirt is actually a protection amulet or something. Yeah. And Sickle Fish says, who's a good little bear? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I don't think so.
Oh god, no. I'm in one of the bugged mining animations. No! Stop it! Okay, good. Sometimes I get stuck in those, because like certain ore veins don't actually give you ore, you just get stuck in an endless loop of mining animations.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And horrible. Now it says GTA 1, cops and robbers. GTA 5, cop killing. Battlefield 1, military. Battlefield hardline, cops and robbers. Full circle. Yes.
Half-Life 4 confirmed.
I love you.
Just skipping 3. Because clearly Valve can't count, so...
So, of course it's gonna be...
Oh, right between the eyes. All 8 of them.
They see you mining. The hating. That was Beetle. I didn't do anything. What was I doing?
Trying to catch me Viking dirty.
No. Nope. Nope, nope. Nope, 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 nope.
And a quick little sort of community poll amongst the inner circle of just out of curiosity for you guys. I don't have any like serious plans for it, but like recently I've tried to kind of combat the like phenomenon of like starting to not necessarily get as into games as I once did, simply because like it's my job to play them all the time now. And so I look at them very differently now, and I've tried to kind of reinvigorate the joy of enjoying games in myself by going out of my way in my downtime to actually put work down a little while and just play stuff that I'm not planning on recording, that's just for fun. However, I can only turn off that critics portion of my brain so much anymore, and so I kind of wonder whether or not anybody would be at all interested in a very relaxed, non-professional, I suppose. What's the word I'm looking for? There is a specific term I'm after with this. Anyway, it'll come to me in like 10 minutes. I'll be like, that what I meant? And yeah, that what I meant. My God, as you can tell. Anyway, just sort of as a sort of like retrospective, like, here are my thoughts, like, here's what I've been playing lately, and this is what I think about it. Like, I know a couple of weeks ago I talked a little bit about Assassin's Creed 2 and the ups and downs of that, and recently I've been playing, thanks to Jack, if you're either here now or watching this in the archive, thank you once again for the 2K bundle. I've been playing Borderlands 2, and I'm absolutely adoring Borderlands 2. Like, I played the original with Ghost and Waskar, and was Noah with us in that group? I don't know. I don't remember. But during the Extra Life charity livestream, and I was unimpressed with the original Borderlands. I'll admit. But 2, I love it.
It's hilarious. He goes insane. But Pixel says Minecrafters be going insane. Too many circles. Beetle says, Mr. Black, it's my job to play games now. Such a horrible, inhumane job.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
But yeah, like on the subject of Borderlands 2, like I'm actually very impressed with it. It's not just entertaining; it's actually one of the smartest and most self-aware games I've ever played. Oops, wrong weapon. Ah.
Oscar says, "Oh, we need to play some battle." I can't talk. Borderlands 2. And Save says, "Hello."
Hello, hello.
Hello. Ow, 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 ow.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling a little Borderlands 2 co-op for our next charity stream. I call Axton because I love Axton.
Yep.
I know he's like the most vanilla and normal of the entire party, but I love him. I adore my turrets. And
Are you gonna name your turret?
Axton has the adorable habit of talking to his turret, which I approve of.
Ghost says we really need to play some Borderlands 2 co-op.
Absolutely.
Pixel says to any of you Total War fans, this weekend it's 50 to 75% off all Total War titles.
Oh wow.
And a few are Sega brands.
Huh. That's cool.
Ghost says I call 0. Why am I not super better
Yeah,
about that?
we called this
We
when
called
we
this.
we talked about it the other day. I was just like, when I bring this up, I can just about bet with 100% certainty that Ghost is going to call 0 and Waskar is going to call Salvador. Whoa! Hi.
No, it says not being the haiku killer. Mr. B is up here.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad I don't have the Necromancer, and not necessarily because I want to play her, but I keep getting cool drops for her in the rest of the game, so I'm just like, man, these are all kind of a waste. I may just shell out and upgrade to the Game of the Year edition to get all the DLCs at some point.
Oscar asks, who do you guys think I would pick? We said so.
Yeah.
But
I think the delay hasn't caught up yet.
the delay has not.
Because I know your usual answer is whatever the most Hispanic option is, and I mean, the man's name is Salvador, and he looks like a big gun-toting cholo, so...
And Pixel says, I miss Toast. Where is he? I don't know.
Ah. Wasn't Toasts absent last week as well?
I think maybe. But Toast is
I don't know.
usually one of the first ones here.
Yeah,
so-
he's usually one of the ones that beats me to the stream.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe busy
Yeah.
or sick or something.
That's sad.
The entire LLP community just.
No, don't say that. Everybody's fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
You hush. Oh, Oscar says, actually no, I would pick Gage the Necromancer.
Oh, gotcha.
For once, we were actually wrong.
I
Or
have-
Krieg the Psycho.
Krieg is pretty cool.
And
I
Pixel
don't.
says, he was.
I don't have him, but I've seen the two Saiyans play stuff. I like Vegeta's take on Krieg is just awesome.
Sage said, what play? This is not Starbound, as your title says.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, I'm playing Skyrim at the moment. You couldn't tell. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I've discovered that I absolutely adore Tiny Tina.
Yep.
My favorite character up until I met Tina was the British hunter guy. But then I met Tina and it was all over.
Beetle says, Mr. Black, will you do playthroughs of older titles like Planescape Torment or any of
Oh, yeah.
them early 2000s or even pre-2000s games?
Oh,
You can call
yes.
Mr. Black, stay a while and listen.
Yeah, I will absolutely do those. Like, one of these days I plan on skipping words and sentences again. I plan on playing the original Fallout games as well, which very few people actually do on YouTube. Can I hit the right keys? There we go. And as far as, whoa, hi there, I see you. Like classic console games are concerned, I'm still working on getting our other room like properly arranged and lit, such that we can record on our consoles with the Elgato. But I do plan on playing especially a lot of old PS1 games. And the one that is going to be a very long series, so I'm going to try to work out a lot of the details and get very proficient with recording with the Elgato before I ever start. But I'm very much looking forward to The Legend of Dragoon.
Yay! I like that one.
Oh, that
So,
one's going to be fun.
Pixel says, I picked myself the Skyrim. I can shoot mind bolts. And he also says, Starbound on track equals Skyrim. And Waskar says, hey, nice self-promotion on the LLP stream thing. Just popped up on your screen. What?
Wait, what?
It did?
Self-promotion? What?
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We are lost. Take the floaty thing. It's creeping me out.
Corpse for the pile.
What pile?
I don't know.
Janasa, do you keep
Yes,
shrunken
so-
heads in your backpack? Kind of freaking me out. Oh, wait, dagger. Oh, there's a dagger there. Yoink.
Carrying too much to be able to run.
No! You know what that means? Science! Oh, and any of you that regularly play and mod Skyrim, like I do, and are as vexed by the utter dearth of good male hair options, I highly recommend checking out, I think it's Vi's hair pack, not that Vi, but I think it's VIE''S hair. Just Google that for Skyrim.
I have to. There's stuff.
Okay.
Beetle says this is this Skybound or Starrim? Dan, Starrim sounds like a Chinese knockoff of Starscream. And Pixel says, Mr. Black, do you have a toothpick in your mouth, or is my computer screen just glitching up?
No, I
He
do.
has a toothpick. Oscar says the stream update popped up on stream.
Oh. That's cool.
Pixel says science equals heresy equals anything that doesn't have any relation to Jesus.
I don't need none of that there science. Science is for them city boys. I've seriously sat in on those discussions with family and the friends of family in those parts of Texas.
No, because you've gone full Southerner.
Oh yeah.
And Sage goes, love toothpicks.
I've always been full Southerner. I just elevate myself beyond the average Southern IQ and articulation. But I've sat in on those conversations where people will actually say, and mean it, you know science is just a myth, right? Science is just a theory. Like, I'm related to those people. Really, it's amazing you can understand a word escaping my mouth right now. The odds were not in my favor.
Cynical Pixels, the same here, but I like the plastic minty ones.
I don't like the minty ones. Die! We are gonna eat well tonight. It's pre-cooked. Alright. I love my Shrine of Azura LOD mod. Like, that should have been stock in the game.
No, it says, you know science is just my... No, it has left to chat.
Like, those are some of those debates where, like, I love a good debate. You know, I love going back and forth with someone who's not arguing with me, but actually debating me, which is to say presenting me with facts, counterfacts, arguments that are well structured, etc. But when I'm faced with that kind of response, those are usually the few times where I'm just dumbstruck, because I'm just like, what do I even say to that? What does logic even mean to you? Do you even recognize logic as a legitimate thing? Does logic even exist in your world?
Oscar says, so B, how do you like Resident Evil?
Resident Evil?
Pixel says, science is technically just a large hypothesis that has a lot of significant factors backing it up.
Oh, it is.
Noah says, those are the debates where it goes circular reasoning works because circular reasoning works because circular reasoning works because circular reasoning works. And Christ Saved says, I love the suckers that have wooden sticks even after the candy is gone. I have the stick for hours. Do you even logic, sir? Says Beetle.
I'm not going in there. I know what's in there. As for the Resident Evil question, I like the classics. I'm actually not very good at the older ones, like the ones with the tank controls. The only game with like that kind of mechanic that I was ever actually halfway decent at was Dino Crisis.
Miss T says that the title is Disregard This Test Broadcast.
What?
And it doesn't look like Starbound.
Oh god, okay, hang on. I'm gonna alt tab real quick.
That's gonna bother him.
No freaking wonder nobody's here. I'm like, hey, I'm streaming! Disregard this. No freaking wonder. I could have sworn I updated that.
We have no idea if what we're actually studying and recording is correct, or even if we're even studying it right. Yeah. We should fix it. Is it fixed?
Okay. Update. There we go.
No,
So,
I sent a picture. Circular reasoning works because circular reasoning works. Reasoning works. Yeah.
I approve of this. Okay, game, come on. Please don't freak out on me. Please don't freak out on me. Come on. Resume. Resume without a hitch. Yay!
It worked!
Okay, handy wave to wave. See if you can actually tell me whether or not you see my character's beautiful face.
Beetle says Twitch, actively trying to screw its streamers since 2012.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So, any of you guys that might want to see the proper game and title, feel free to refresh your page. I hope at least our regulars see the Steam message, because that is just gonna say Friday Night Livestream like it usually does. Wait, where am I going? Wasn't I going to the College of Winterhold?
I think so.
Yep. And I ran right past.
Now,
God,
it says
I'm an
the only
idiot.
provable hole in silence is the gap between the laws that govern atoms and the laws that govern our physical world. And Stephen Hawking's search for a set of rules that govern both is a theory of everything.
Yep. Yeah, like, my idea of a relaxing evening is usually, like, it's either playing a game of some sort or watching one of the few documentaries with, like, Neil deGrasse Tyson in it that I've never seen before, and that's a very small number.
Born and raised.
Like, documentaries on quantum physics are, like, some of the most relaxingly just mental stimulation kinds of things that I can watch, because, like, a lot of theoretical physics just click really well for me. Like, they make sense to me. It's the theory that I understand quite well, but unfortunately...
He says, I'm here.
Welcome back. Unfortunately, it's the mathematical end of it that, when it comes time to crunch the numbers upon theories, my brain doesn't keep up with. So I may have mentioned this before, but it's a cool story enough to warrant repeating. When I was in high school, I only actually passed high school physics due to the fact that I had a very, very cool physics teacher who recognized that, you know, I knew the theory better than anyone else in that class, but I couldn't crunch the numbers. I'm not a numbers guy. And so a couple of times when I did really poorly on tests, and it was going to affect whether or not I might even pass the class, he was just like, okay, well, you can do a makeup exam, and it's going to be, you know, essentially a pop test, and it's going to be just a verbal exam. And I want you to explain in detail a lot of these theories that, you know, we never even covered in class. Oh god, you guys got boned. Oh no, another one! It's like, this is stuff that's only from the book, so it still kind of proves that you went above and beyond in, you know, the studies.
No, it says theoretical physics works really well as soon as you can wrap your mind around it.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, the getting of the mind around takes a lot of effort or a gift.
Yeah. I agree. But, like, I would not have passed that class if it weren't for him essentially allowing me to succeed by the aspect of physics that I can understand.
Don says, I was a great adventurer until I took a thing to the knee. I don't know. And Pixel says, oh, the cute little berry came back.
Okay. Yeah, like, I had the objective of getting here when I first started, and then I just ran past the damn place.
That's because it's you.
I'm an adventurer with ADD.
If you're here for sightseeing, all day, you've seen the sights.
Don't just walk away from me.
Prancing about, casting
Getting my
spells all
mind
day.
around these comments takes a lot of effort and gifts. Oh,
Cross
thanks.
the bridge at your own
Pixel.
peril. The way is dangerous, and the gate will not open.
Nice armor.
You shall not gain entry.
Yeah, I will. What is this place?
Oh, forgive me.
No.
Most who arrive here do so because they have heard of the college beforehand.
Do I look like most people?
This is the College of Winterhold, a safe haven for mages in Skyrim, a place of wisdom and arcane knowledge.
May I enter?
Perhaps. But what is it you expect to find within?
Books. Lots of books. I just want to see what it looks like. I want to unravel the mysteries of theories.
Ah, the immortal plane.
Sure.
It is said to be the source of all magic. This is a noble goal, indeed. It would seem that the college has what you seek. The question now is, what can you offer the college? Not
Books.
just anyone is allowed inside. Those wishing to enter must show some degree of skill with magic. A small test, if you will.
I might.
No, I'm afraid I don't know anything of the sort.
Well, that's your problem.
Don says, damn it, I even screwed the reference up.
The
I
mage
was a great
light
adventurer
spell
like
is
you
useful
until I
to
took an arrow
enemies,
to the
not just
knee.
those specializing in alteration. Can you cast one on the seal on the ground?
I can do that.
I look forward to it.
What are we supposed to do?
I don't know.
Alteration.
I couldn't hear it over you talking. Oh, Mage Light. Okay.
The cul-
I can do that. I think I've got that.
And Pixel says,
set.
"You're welcome, bye."
That's it.
Mage Light.
There it is.
There we go.
Skyrim, even if it goes
I'm
unnoticed.
gonna cast the
or-
best Mage Light you ever seen.
Well done indeed. I think you'll be a superb addition to the college.
I agree.
Welcome, apprentice. I'll lead you across the bridge. Once you're inside, you'll want to speak with Mirabelle Irvine, our master wizard. Please, follow me.
She was actually kind of polite this time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's because we were actually kind of respectful,
Yeah.
not a douche.
Yep. Certain races she doesn't like either. She's kind of a racist bitch. Then
She's
again,
a high elf.
I was gonna say most Altmer are, so. Come on.
It's kind of awesome that she's wearing like mage armor robe things.
Yeah, I think that's from Immersive Armors. I love the fact that Immersive Armors doesn't just update like the random bandit lists, but it updates certain NPCs to have like relevant gear as well. I think it's a nice touch. And here in a little bit, I'll pop into the race menu to show you guys the mod I was talking about, because it's just like it was such a relief to me to find it, because it's not on the Nexus. I think it's on a couple of other like third-party sites. But like I said, it adds a good, I think, dozen or so additional male hairstyles. So now I'm just like, yay! Not all of my characters that I don't want to have long hair are gonna have one of the same like 2 hairstyles. Now I've got about 5 or 6 I can choose from that I like.
I believe I've made myself rather clear.
Yes, of course. I'm simply trying to understand the reasoning behind it.
Stupid looking sideburns you got there.
I'm bowing to your every whim, but I'm afraid you'll find that Thalmor received no such treatment here.
We're one of the
You are a
same
guest
kind,
of the
Gwyn.
college. We are in the pleasure of the Archmage.
Noah
I hope
says,
you appreciate the opportunity.
random fact, I got a hold of a replica
Yes.
MP7 a while back.
Yes, so long.
Cool.
They're not the Herber spec
Very
op
good.
guns
Then
everyone
we're
calls
done.
them. They feel clunky, have a weird stock, poorly placed
Yes.
mag release, and don't fit particularly well in the hand. And
Welcome
Don says,
to
I
the
guess
college.
staying up until 4 a.m. playing games wasn't such a great idea after all.
Welcome to the college.
Uh,
Another new student. I'm surprised at how many of you there are late. Well,
Yep.
first you'll need these. I'll
Right.
give you a brief tour, and then we'll get you to your first class.
You know
Are
what?
you ready to
Just
begin? Wonderful. Please.
just for shits and giggles, let's actually throw those new robes on and just see how terrible I look in them. Let's see, where are these new things? Here we go. Novice. I'm not putting the hood on because screw that.
For me, and don't wander off.
Beetle says,
The College of Winterhold
I look
has been
fancy.
in Skyrim.
if you have a problem choosing hairstyles, you should have gone with Argonian.
Actually, funny story with that. My very first Elder Scrolls of any kind character was an Argonian.
Primary location for lectures,
My
classes,
original Morrowind character was.
The Arcadian is
I never actually
above
completed the
that,
game with him.
and the Archmage's
but-
quarters above that. While technically in charge of the college,
Maribel, shut
the
up.
Archmage's
I wanna get
responsibilities often keep
the
him
college
occupied.
introduction
Thus,
over
I run
with.
the day-to-day operations.
Good for you.
Now, if you'll please follow me, I'll show you the living quarters.
Uh-huh, please
Her
do.
hair isn't the long ass
Unfortunately, we
hair
have
that
to
she had
implement
in
more
the
stringent
other.
entry procedures due to some problems with the local Nords. We don't anticipate.
Yeah, I've
any
swapped
real
out a couple of
backlash,
my
but it never hurts to
NPC
look at
model replacer things because there was a few of them I couldn't stand.
Mr. Oh, wait. What?
Ooh. I must have gotten a texture replacer that I didn't recognize because her bag looks awesome. What the? Who the hell are you?
Go
Why do you look like you're about to stab somebody that comes through the
looks like
gate?
She's part of the Dark Brotherhood or something.
Who the hell are you? You must be from interesting NPCs. I'm just gonna
move on.
go.
Keep your voice down while inside, as others may be working
Hi.
on research or delicate experiments.
Mr. Black, her bag looks
Now I'll show you
awesome.
to your
Oh,
quarters.
ho.
You're going to be sharing space with your fellow apprentices.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
This is where you'll be staying. This bed and desk are yours.
Cool.
Please try and be considerate of others. Now, let's go back to the Hall of the Elements, where most of the members gather for lectures and study sessions.
I'll consider their things very valuable. Bosmer engraved shoulder cape. Do I get an Ezio cape? Because that would be sweet. Azura and the box. I don't know whether or not I've read that one. So, I'll take it just to be sure. Whoa.
Raw chicken.
A whole cabinet full of meat. Okay.
Ew, with a skull
With a
on
skull on top.
I'm
Mirabelle, I'm not comfortable here. I don't like this place.
Pixel says, talk to her, pulls you in, proceeds to do strange, lovely things, pushes you out. End of story.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
Alright, let's get our badass animation on and throw my books in my magic storage spell.
Because
Da-na-na-na!
we're badass.
Punch the ground because reasons.
Do these all-powerful wizards ever heard of doors as in doors to your room? Also, repair your damn bridge, you lazy mages.
Nah, it works. I mean, it hasn't completely broken. Just throwing all of my books into this thing. I had a few more than I thought I did.
Gonna give Starbound a shot. Ooh boy, says Noah.
It's a good game.
Initially, you'll be learning from Tolfdir, one of our most esteemed wizards.
Is he now? Actually, he really is. I actually installed a mod that I'm very glad exists, that upon the completion of the Mages Guild quests allows one to cede Archmage status to Master Tolfdir, because I never felt that the player character earned the right to ascend to the status of Archmage after just the events of the Mages Guild questline, which is actually rather short and doesn't actually require much mastery over magic.
Ow. Ow. I moved.
Ah.
Let us know what you think of Starbound, Noah.
Yeah, I like it.
Welcome.
Hi there.
We were just beginning. Please, stay and listen.
Okay.
So, as I was saying, the first thing to understand is that magic is, by its very nature, volatile and dangerous. Unless you can control it, it can and will destroy you.
Good times.
Yay!
Sir, I think we all understand that fairly well.
I think you're a student and he's a master. Shut the hell up.
Magic.
Of course, my dear, of course. You all certainly possess some inherent natural ability. That much is not being questioned. What I'm talking about is true control, mastery of magic. It takes years, if not decades, of practice and study.
What are we waiting for? Let's get started.
Please, please, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Eagerness must be tempered with caution, or else disaster is inevitable.
But we've only just arrived here. You've no idea what any of us are capable of.
Yeah, it does.
Chance to show you what we can do.
You've been quiet so far. What do you think we should do?
Exercise discipline. Safety should be important, because, you know, you're no use to anybody if you're dead.
Well, your classmates certainly seem to disagree with
My
you.
classmates are idiots.
Don't listen.
Nothing new here.
Do it. Just give us a chance.
All right, let's settle down. I suppose we can... Chanting
Hi.
services. are one of the few things that keep us in
You,
touch with the rest of Skyrim.
You know the old Morrowind magic of teleportation, I guess.
Block magic. I'll teach you all a ward, and we'll see if you can successfully use it to block spells, all right?
Okay.
Would you mind helping me with the demonstration?
No prob.
Are you at all familiar with ward spells?
Yes, sir.
Well, then this should be no problem at all for you. Now, if you just stand right over there, I'll cast a spell at you, and you
Okay.
block it with the ward.
Hi.
Okie
Over
dokie.
there.
Where is my ward? There we go. Boop, boop.
Please, just opposite me. Wouldn't want anyone else in the way. Now,
I would.
cast the ward spell and keep it up.
Do your stuff.
You have to keep your ward up. or
You
else
have to
it
cast the
won't work.
freaking spell before I run out of MP. Come on, dude.
Over there, please.
Yeah, I'm here. God, I always hated this part of this quest.
Now, cast the ward spell.
Get out of your goddamn dialogue cycle and cast the freaking spell. Thank you.
Pixel says this Loki would have looked so much cooler in the movie.
I'd like you all to continue practicing
Whoa.
the wards, please.
Yeah, it's pretty boss.
It'd be cool if, like, that's what Loki looked like when he got, like, possessed by the staff. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yep.
The college has undertaken a fascinating excavation in the ruins of Sarthor nearby. It's an
Fascinating.
excellent learning opportunity.
Ghost asks, do I have to go
suggest
deep
we
for
meet there
iron?
in a few hours and see what happens
Not
at
terribly.
the That's all for now. Thank you.
Best way to find iron I found early on is just, like, wander around for a while, find a, pre-existing, like, tunnel, and then just kind of follow it down a ways until you start finding, iron a bit more regularly. Okay. Now for the real reason I'm here.
To see you treating any of these books poorly.
Never.
Are we clear?
Indeed.
You are now in the Arcanium, of which I am in charge. It might as well be my own little plane of oblivion. Disrupt my Arcanium, and I will have you torn apart by angry Atronachs.
Okay.
Now, do you require assistance?
Yep. Is there any college business I can assist with?
If you're feeling adventurous, I'm always looking for someone to procure valuable books from some more dangerous locations.
I'm always looking to add exotic books to my collection for future episodes of Reading from the Elder Scrolls. I'm ready for some adventure.
Well, all right, here. I scribbled down the last place I'd heard about. Check it out, but be careful.
Pixel says what you really have to go deep for is oil. It's a real pain in the arse.
Yep. Although, on certain planets,
It's just their
it's
water.
yeah, like that's on the surface, like it's water. So, like on your very first world, don't worry about almost anything else short of what you need to get down to the core of the planet and get the core shards. Like getting those needs to be your #1 priority. Because
Once you get off and are able to go different places,
yeah,
then
once
it's not
once
a
you
big
can
deal.
once you can visit other planets, a lot of the resources that may be rare on one are just sitting on the surface of another. So the game really opens up and comes into its own once you can leave your original homeworld. Let's see here. What have you got? Ooh, wait. Are there any special books you're looking for?
As a matter of fact, there are.
Good.
Have you ever heard of Shalador?
Yep.
Immensely powerful mage, back in the First Era. Had an understanding of magic few have ever matched.
He made
He
Labyrinthian.
holed himself up in Labyrinthian and devoted all his time to research and study. But more than you would imagine.
Like a
possible.
nerd.
Since then, his writings have been scattered all over Skyrim, but are little use to anyone who can't translate them. I'm one of the few who can.
Cool.
I've heard whispers of more of his work having turned up. If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us.
Sounds cool to me.
Ghost says, where are the core shards? They are very deep down.
Really deep down. They're essentially like, you'll know when you get there when you start seeing lava. And
Lava and red glow.
Yeah,
Because the core
core-
shards glow red.
core shards are little red crystals. You'll know them when you see them. And if you reach a point at which it looks as though you're about to break through the ceiling of a really large cavern
Go around.
and it's glowing red underneath,
Go around.
go around and check whether it is indeed a large cavern or whether you've reached the actual core of the world, in which case it's just that's the bottom of the crust and everything below you is lava and you're going to die. Be careful.
Yep.
Okay.
And also, if you're so far down,
Scrolls. I'm sure you'll find something useful.
and you find it hard to get back, just jump in the lava.
Yeah, it's actually easier. Because especially...
It's sad, but it's true.
Well, especially early on in the game, money's not actually all that useful.
No, it's only later that it becomes a thing.
Yeah, so...
Pixel says, why the hell does all the fancy stuff get scattered all over the freaking place?
Game logic.
Because it's a game, that's why. That's just how it works, I think.
Let's see. I love my mod that adds the little eyeball to the books I've already read before. Although my menu still flips out sometimes.
That's because it's Sky UI.
Yeah.
Sky UI is good, even though I find it more cluttered and I don't actually like it.
I can't stand Sky UI, but I need it for a couple of the other mods that require it, so I deal with it.
Like our super awesome Better Face Gen creator. And layered war paint and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because it's awesome, right?
Yep.
So we finally buckled down and got it.
Yep.
Wabbajack!
Wabbajack, wabbajack, wabba wabba wabbajack, wabbajack, jack, wabbajack, wabba wabbajack.
Yay.
It's been my little Wabbajack song for years. You guys have just never heard it.
I like the Wabbajack song.
I've done that since the very first time I played through the Shivering Isles. Okay. Oh, hi. You made yourself comfortable, I see. Let's see.
Yeah, I have to admit.
Yeah, okay.
I have to admit that Shivering Isles is my favorite DLC of any DLC ever.
Yeah. Shivering Isles is amazing.
Because it really is. It is just fantastic. Ghost says, as I said before, and you never took me up on it, is there a way to have Sky UI without there is a way to have Sky UI without the custom interface. We keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Besides, I'm not sure how well that would work in the race menu thing, because it literally uses the interface. Like, that's why.
Yeah. So.
We're just dealing with it.
I figure
So
I finally.
Is the lady still here at the door?
Yeah.
I think she got stuck.
I think so.
I think they trapped her.
There you go.
We're so sorry about that. Are you okay?
You're free now. Be with your people.
Ow, ow, ow. Why did you have to make me laugh? It hurts. Ow.
Okay, before I forget, I want to see what that cool Bosmer cape is.
Oh, is he?
Let's
Is it?
see.
Oh, it doesn't. I don't think it.
Hang on.
I don't think
I
it
can
should.
barely see it.
I
Because
think
it
it's
kind
because of
of.
your armor.
Yeah, it kind of gets lost underneath my backpack and everything. I also think it's like bluish.
I think it is bluish.
I don't really like it.
Well.
Yeah, well, that can go away. That didn't overwrite any of my other stuff, did it?
I don't think so. I don't know. Ow, 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 ow.
I don't think so. What about this cloaky thing? Oh. Necromancer cloak is a black cloak with a skull on it. Subtle.
Why is she walking like that?
I don't know, because she's bored.
And what's my...
Sorry, lady.
We'll close it after us. Come on, Janasa.
Janasa! Come on! Come on! Stop trapping the poor lady. Okay.
Oh, ow. I don't want to eat anything with corn in it ever again.
Yeah.
I forgot how bad it hurt. Stupid stuff.
Let's see. Hey, shop lady. Do you have any books I've never read?
Maybe?
I also discovered a couple of days ago that there are more entries in the Elder Scrolls series than even I originally thought. I was looking on, I think it's the Imperial Library, a website that has all of the books in the Elder Scrolls in like print form on the website. So cool place to check out if you're ever curious. But I saw that there were entries, like I knew Battlespire is a very lesser known entry in the Elder Scrolls games, but there was Shadowkey. There's one that's actually called Dawnstar, and another one, I forget which. Shadowkey was a mobile game, like it was for the N-Gage, I think, back when that was a thing that never really took off.
No, it says I just murdered a bunch of underground merchants. Hey, they attacked first.
That'll happen.
That'll happen.
Quite often.
Yeah, just be okay with it because that's how it...
It's kind of hard to play a good character in Starbound. Yeah. I'm kind of a terrible person in that game.
He really is. He's not joking. But that's okay. Your character is the one that wishes he could set up shop on a fire planet.
I am. Like, I want to have straight up supervillain lair on a volcanic planet.
I do what's necessary. So, a bit of this and a bit of that.
I'll take your lockpick. You ain't got any books. Damn. Do you want anything of mine? Elven dagger.
Your shoulder cloak?
Staff of Charming.
I'm assuming by oddments that means this is a pawn shop.
Yeah, probably. Which means she'll probably take anything. Okay, wait, what? Arundel's boots. This object is haunted by one of Arundel's young milkmaid ghosts. She can be called upon by the cost of a filled lesser soul gem. Creepy.
Keep it.
I'm keeping that because that's a unique.
Yep.
Yeah, you can have my initiate boots. Shoulder cape.
Want to sell the necromancer cape?
Yeah, because I'll never use it. Well, I guess I'll hang on to it because it is unique. So.
Oh, she's almost out of money, by the way.
Ah, crap.
Pixel says, no, they attacked us with their sales and 2-for-1 deals.
Until next time.
It's just like General Gaben. His blitz upon our wallets with the yearly Steam sales. Surely that man is a tactical genius. Waging economic warfare.
Okay.
God damn it.
You did it again, dang it!
I can only be so unentertaining.
Oh.
Sorry. The hell was that?
You love me?
What the hell was... Oh. Okay.
They're just flirts.
I saw one like really close to the camera up in the upper left corner. I was like, ugh!
We turned off the random dragon thing.
Yeah. Although,
We died.
a funny story, I'm not sure I've ever told this story on stream before. When I first worked for the Corrections County,
The Corrections County?
Corrections Department with the county. My brain, not 100% right now. When I first started working there, I had just essentially come off of playing Skyrim like all the damn time in my downtime. Like, it was my hobby game. And so, a little, like, geographical backstory for you. The facility I used to work at was right next to an airport. Like, literally, there's one fence between us and the tarmac. And when I was walking out with the rest of the guys one night after shift, then like it was so embarrassing, but at the time I'm just like, okay, that's actually kind of funny. I was so ingrained with my Skyrim reflexes that when we're walking out one night, and because it's so brightly lit and everything, you can still see shadows, this big dark shadow goes right over us, and my instant instinct was, oh god, dragon, like, hit the deck!
Because we had been playing way too much Skyrim.
So I hit the deck and everyone's just like, it's a helicopter, what the fuck are you nervous about? I was like, nothing, don't worry about it.
Because we are We're such big nerds. Oh. Yay.
Okay. Where am I even going right now? Let's see. Where do I... Oh god, I forgot how...
How to what?
There we go! Jade gets me back to this. Like, it's been a while since I played Skyrim on a dedicated basis. Let's see. I don't want to do the Shaladar thing right now.
Why not?
What?
Do the Knight's Life. A Knight's Tale. Come on, it's a Chaucer reference.
Well, yeah, but I know what that is, and I don't want those items for this character. That's for my mod.
The dog.
One god. Aha. You. So that will lead me. No. I'm so used to other games where I've got to like click and drag the map. Okay.
Trying so hard not to laugh because it hurts.
Is that where it is? Oh god, you would be way over there.
That's okay.
All right.
We can.
I've never actually been to Falkreath proper.
Nope. No, it says, have you guys seen the new 40k army, Adeptus Mechanicus?
I've seen a few pictures of it.
My wallet is tempted.
I cannot afford 40k.
Nope.
Because that's about how much you'll spend on it in a year.
We're one of the same kind, you and I. I'm good.
Oh, it is morning. Okay. It's just a rainy morning.
Yep. Isn't it lovely?
Oh, yeah. I'm so glad I finally balanced out my ENB to look exactly the way I want and still, like, perform.
I thought it was funny that it ran better when we turned on more of the
Yeah, like,
effects.
that was weird. I think it's because it optimizes the way that it processes the visuals. Because when I turned down some of the ENB settings, like, it dramatically impacted my frame rate, and yet when I turned more of them back on,
it got a lot better, which was ridiculous.
It smoothed out the frame rate and shot up by like 20 FPS. I'm like, okay, that's backwards, but whatever.
We don't complain. It makes it look pretty.
Yeah. I'm guessing one of the subsystems in some of those options may have some, like, processing optimization things built in.
Drive-by flower picking? My Skyrim instincts are mad at you.
Yeah, I did that in Servarium so much. Because Servarium's got, in a couple of its maps...
It looks like it should be picked...
Yeah, like those bright colored mushrooms. I run up to them like, oh, I need to collect it. Wait, wrong game.
Yep.
I've gotten shot a couple of times because of it.
I do it too. Because my character is an alchemist, so she's kind of obsessively gathering things.
Try not to Falkreath too harshly visible. The lore has been
I love my Falkreath overhaul.
And then we,
Hello.
And then we played Servarium, and then I was like, I need to pick that up. No, I don't. What am I doing? People are shooting at me with guns. Wrong game. Pixel says he's trying to give up 40k for a little while. It's a drain on your... Oh, buddy.
Yeah, the one I was kind of sorry to hear about was when... Damn, what's it called? War Machine. Another really good tabletop minis strategy game.
What happened?
It got a PC game like adaptation, and it's done sort of in the same sort of UI as sort of like a mix between Heroes of Might and Magic and like XCOM. Only a lot of the reviews on it are
Not good.
mixed at the highest and rather negative most of the time. That's a damn disappointment because I really like War Machine. I've never played it like the tabletop version. Myself, I've read a few people's like Oh my god,
can't-
threads that have. And I've got the like D20 adaptation for D&D of the setting, which I really enjoy. So I was just hoping for a little more out of that, and unfortunately it looks as though it's a rather underwhelming game.
No, it says, I just noticed that the Starbound character is rendered in his tidy-whitey while in inventory checking in a tent or in bed.
Yep.
That's clever.
Uh-huh.
My Nova kid, my female Nova kid, she actually is, like, naked.
Yep.
Like, she doesn't have undies.
Yeah, certain
She's
races
just fire.
are in their birthday suits, as it were.
Not that there's any detail that would...
Nah, it's pixel art, so
Yeah,
I mean...
pixel art, and she's essentially fire. She's sentient, humanish shaped fire.
She's just that hot.
Oh yeah.
That's...
It's funny though, my Florin, which was actually the second character I made, ended up being my most boss character. She's a badass. I like her. I'm just upset because I can't remember her name. Oh yeah, I do. I named her Belladonna. Durr. Because Nightshade. Because dangerous plant, flower. I thought it was cleverish. That's cool.
I think one of those hoods would look really good with the set I've been...
What do you need? 2 spider eggs.
Yeah, I need some spider eggs.
That's okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
We should totally do that.
I love immersive armor so much.
I know.
Because it just adds so many more cool sets to the game.
And it's all in the one USB, so we don't have to
Yeah.
get the separate mods they're all from.
Exactly. I just wish immersive weapons was as good. Immersive weapons kind of got a bit lax on the quality control. So there's a lot of weapons that get added into the game and the level lists and stuff that I can't stand looking at. Like, if it was just in the crafting menu, I wouldn't care so much, but the fact that they're actually distributed amongst people, like, nah, I can't do it. That is a badass looking buckler.
I actually like the orc weapons a lot in this game. I always thought they were really cool.
Orcish weapons have always looked really good, and their armor.
Yeah.
Like, their armor in Morrowind was basically like samurai armor.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, Yori.
But I definitely like the Nordic and the Orcish. Are some of my favorites in Skyrim.
Yeah.
Weapons and armor. Mainly because I'm a sucker for the thinking about it.
I'm just having a shiny object moment
because of the
beautiful reflections. Just gorgeous.
What's that one look like?
It's the dark ebony. That's straight up Ordinator masks.
I think that's the point.
That's the lady's hand masks from Tribunal.
Yep. I like them though.
I forgot the troll stuff was in there. Let's see. Okay, well, what I really need to do is make a bunch of leather stuff in order to level my crafting, so what to make?
I like making leather.
Yeah, I did get... I'll show you guys this. I got a mod that finally, like, as far as my taste is concerned, fixes the leather armor by adding pants.
Yeah, even I had a problem with that.
Like, I didn't like it that even the dudes had no pants. And I think
one
it
had pants, and it was weird.
I think it updates it so females do as well. It actually looks like it's proper armor now.
Girls have pants too.
I think so. And this is just a really cool set as well. And then for the rest of these, I guess I'll make some bracers. I'm just gonna make a bunch of these. There we go. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, the amount of stuff PC can do over 360 makes me jealous.
Yep. That's why I pretty much refuse to play any Bethesda game on console due to the fact that the modding community is what keeps a lot of them alive on PC.
And I just love so much of the modding community that I'm just
No,
like,
no. This one's alone on the road outside of town.
Yeah,
If
I
you are willing
know.
to retrieve him for me,
I want nothing to do with Barnabas. I know exactly which dog you're talking about.
Some gold now and some when I have my dog.
Uh-huh.
There's the meat.
Yeah.
Steel's good. Take a look.
Let's see. Oh wait, you actually got boiled chicken.
Super. Oh, it was Super who said the amount of stuff PC can do over 360.
Oh.
And he also says, you can actually just wear pants, right?
Not in the vanilla game.
That
With,
we knew of. Anyway.
With leather armor, no, you couldn't. So I had to get a mod that changes the model. And it took a long time for anybody to make one that was worth half a damn.
Well, that's because we didn't like the other changes most of them made.
I know, because most of them, like, really altered the base look of the leather armor, and most of it looks fine. I just wanted something underneath the damn skirts.
Super says most of the non-exquisite pants go pretty well with the leather armor for making a good look.
Except you can't do tops and pants in this game. That's not a thing.
Or at least
It's
not
just
with
a
anything we've got.
it's just a set of armor and that's it. But anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it is now. It's basically the same thing as the normal leather armor, only it's got actual pants and knee guards underneath.
Super says, I could have sworn you can wear an outfit under your armor. Might be
Ah.
thinking of Oblivion then.
I think you're thinking of Morrowind.
In which you could wear pants.
Yeah, you could wear pants, you could wear a robe over your armor, you could, switch out individual pauldrons left and right. Like, Morrowind had so many more options than Oblivion or Skyrim. And it had crossbows, and spears, and throwable weapons. The list goes on. A rant for another day, which I'll include in some videos, which I'm planning on doing later. Essentially, it's just like, why in the hell couldn't Bethesda do what they did back in the mid-2000s? Like, why aren't spears in Skyrim? It makes no goddamn sense. And it took a DLC for the world to remember, oh yeah, crossbows were a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's the Jehemian leather mud, which I like because it actually kind of looks a little bit, like a sort of craftsman's sort of thing. Like, this is what someone who goes out to go, like, mining or wood chopping but knows he might get in a fight on the way might wear. Like, I kind of like this one.
Yeah, Super says that there's actually a person working on putting Morrowind in the Skyrim system.
Yeah, the Skywind project. It's not just a person; it's a whole team of volunteers.
It's gonna be huge.
It's been in development for years, but every time they release a new trailer, I'm just like, give it to me, grabby hands. Alrighty. Lord, I'm
Weapons and armor.
gonna sell you the stuff I just made because I sure as hell don't need it. Let's see here. All those bracers, leather, Henian leather. Okay. Thank you, my good man. Can I make any additions to mine? No.
Bethesda did put a reason for cutting weapons. They were underused and just eating disk space.
Even so, it very much flies in the face of continuity, which I'm kind of a stickler for. But no.
Yes, Sarah?
getting a new mommy and daddy, so I'll have 2 of each now.
Somehow, I'm not so sure about that one.
The gods schedule.
But her getting a new mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you get 2 of each.
Nah, it's not the way it works.
I think that's actually more she's getting rid of you, but I don't want to say that because it's mean.
Oh, I know where I gotta go. I gotta go to Bile Gulch. That place is fun to ransack.
Nice.
That's just a bandit camp full of orcs that have taken over a mine.
One asterisk to note with putting Oblivion and Morrowind in the Skyrim system, Skyrim intentionally is the smallest of the Elder Scrolls game due to how much the game taxes systems.
Yep.
Yep.
Which is kind of a shame, because I know it can be kind of a divisive debate, but I'm more on the end of, you know, I guess game variety and depth over visual fidelity.
Super says, ironically, fun fact, every single Elder Scrolls game has featured less playable space than the game before it.
Yeah, like Daggerfall I've read. I've never actually played Daggerfall, but I know its world space is touted as like comparable to the actual landmass of the British Isles, which is mind-boggling. However, it's incredibly low-tech in terms of its visual presentation, so... Although for its time, Morrowind was incredibly visually groundbreaking. Then again, so is Skyrim.
Skyrim does feel larger, however, because more of the playable space is used.
Yeah,
useless land.
It's a matter of like surface area. I think it's verticality, which is one of the things that irked me with Fallout New Vegas. In fact, in that there are these big, huge, open, wide vistas, which there ought to be in a desert environment. Yes. However, so much of it is completely useless. Like, the entire southeastern corner of the map doesn't even really need to be there, because there's nothing there.
Yep.
Like the Searchlight Airport. Gigantic airport! Nothing there if you don't have mods to put things in it.
Much more system crashing than any game before its time.
Yeah. Well, at the time, the idea of like having a gaming rig was very fringe. Like, it was a novelty at best. It wasn't a common thing, and yet for its time, it required a fair amount of digital muscle.
Hello?
Oh, hi.
Over here, please. I need help.
Do you now?
Thank Kinneret for you, stranger. I'd almost given up hope of walking away from here.
You're bloody. What you doing?
We tracked a bear to this den. Good coin for those pelts. We had the big sow cornered when they showed up. 3 of them, out of nowhere. Spriggans. Niels went down before we even knew to run. Ari died just inside. I never even thought that things were real. I may have lost a drop or 2 of blood. Truth is, I'm not going anywhere like this. Hurts to breathe.
Serana? Serana, jeez.
Just
Janasa, what are you doing? Why are you like twitching? Are you mocking this man? He just walk up right in front of him and just, oh no, oh it hurts so bad. Janasa, you're a bitch.
Things to improve in Elder Scrolls time. The amount of times you routine tasks like mining.
Yeah. There you go.
Much better. Thanks, friend. I wouldn't have lasted much longer without that. But now what? I can't just walk away, not with my friends' bodies in there being torn apart by those beasts.
You should wait here. I'll do the job.
You'd really risk your life for a stranger's honor?
It's not really much of a risk, but yeah, sure.
Thank you, my friend. I'll wait here.
Good man. Janaza.
Nasa, get up.
Get up.
Is she okay? Are we sure she's okay?
I think she's mocking him.
Yeah.
Get up! What are you doing?
I'm starting to be a little concerned.
Okay, maybe if I go in here, it'll reset her animation.
Pixel says a drop or two of blood? Good God, man, you've lost a hell of a lot more than a drop or two.
He's just being modest. Now then. Crap. Gotcha! You and your little predator trick aren't gonna hurt me. Okay. Also, I snagged the Alien vs. Predator game for like $3 and some change on Steam yesterday. I'm never gonna find it that low again, so yeah, why not? So I may run a series on the campaigns of that game at some point.
Super says, unless he's an undead and just carrying vials for some else. That's nice.
Every chamber in town.
The thing Skyrim was most mocked for, but I enjoy. Basically, every single dungeon feeds out into its start area.
Yep. It's actually decent level design. It's not natural, but it does make for convenient level design. Because that was actually one of the things that I griped about during Morrowind. One of the few things I griped about is that a lot of its dungeons require you to do a lot of backtracking. And quite a few of Oblivion's did as well. Oblivion had some that were more roundabout, but quite a few of them were just like one way in, one way out. I know you're there, little bear cub. I'm sorry, but it's your time to die. You're not going to live to be big and strong. Ow. Ow. Rude. Stop it. Thank you, Janaza.
Yes.
Okay. What the whoop? Hi. You know what? Just because I'm a terrible person. Sweet.
A great game creator said, and bonus point if you can name a person, a fun game is more important than a realistic one.
That sounds like something John Carmack might have said.
And Boy77 says, hey! Hello!
Hello, hello, welcome back. Ooh, that sounds nice. What ring am I wearing right now? I'm not wearing a ring right now. Right? No, I'm wearing that. Huh. Yeah, I think I'll keep my current ring. Anything of note or worth? Gold!
You need some water to put out the fire on your hands, this boy.
I don't want to set the world on fire. Ooh, glass battle axe. Yeah, I actually really got like that classy Fallout style introduction kind of vibe off of the introduction to Borderlands 2, with its like really chill bluesy music. I'm just like, I like this. This is the juxtaposition to the extreme violence going on in the background. It was amusing to me.
Super says that was Shigeru Miyamoto on why Mario can move in midair while jumping.
It's done that.
Gotcha.
Justice, if you could call it that. Look, I want you to have this. I know it isn't much, but it's important to me. Ari gave me this dagger when we first started hunting together. I always said it brought her luck. You should be the one to carry it now. I'll give them a proper burial, then head back. Come find me if you're ever in Falkreath. You'll always be welcome at my door.
Spank you. Janasa, knock it off. Stop mocking the poor man. His friend has died, and you're being rude.
And then you have the dodgers like DayZ who claim authenticity, not realism.
Oh yeah. Like, one can strike a fair balance, I think, between realism and entertainment value. Like, see the Stalkers franchise. Like, Stalker is not completely realistic by any means. However, it manages to get close enough to kind of give that impression, and yet still manages to come across as very entertaining. Keeping away from the spiders.
Probably a wise idea.
And I think that's a hunter's camp.
There was one Miyamoto quote I really liked, but it involves like profanity. Permission to say?
Yeah,
Super.
that's fine. Like it says, our community rules is more or less just, you know, it's not no profanity, just kind of, if it's not necessary, you know, leave off. And obviously no bigotry allowed. Other than that. Okay, so you're a hunter. You're not shooting at me. I won't steal your baked potatoes, because I respect a man's baked potatoes, because those are delicious. And this is one of my favorite things to do in this game. It's why I don't fast travel all that often.
Because it's not as much fun.
Yeah, I kind of like just roaming about the world, you know, coming across things that even though I've got over 900 hours in this game, like that I've never seen before. That's
fairy ring!
Yeah, that's a fairy circle. Why in the hell is there a fairy circle? I'm creeped out right now. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, read your Irish folklore. I'm going in.
Where's the Spriggan?
I should be getting assailed by creepy nature spirits right now, because I've invaded their fairy circle.
Or transported to a different dimension.
I'm gonna go. Nice touch.
Super says, game is shit,
Oddly.
Take it back. Miyamoto, anytime a person showed him a game not up to his standards.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Mattis South says, hey, hottie.
Well, hi there.
Art.
Does that mean I've got my first fangirl?
You don't need fangirls, you have a wife.
But fangirls are the ones that make fan art, and fan art helps make you more popular.
Okay,
Like,
that's
seriously.
That is,
I mean,
that is valid. I will admit that.
There's a legit business reason to want fangirls, and it's got nothing to do with aggrandizing one's ego. It's got to do with brand recognition.
Okay, that is a valid point.
Goblin! Janasa, get him! There we go. But seriously, like...
Mattis says, I'm drawing you a picture now.
Okay.
I'm your #1 fangirl.
Okay.
Buddy says, late to the party, but... Hello, everyone!
Welcome back, Bunny.
Hello.
It's a quiet evening of Skyrim this evening, as both Vi and I are kind of under the weather, so...
Yep.
We're taking it a little easy, and... tonight's stream may run a little short. I think I've overshot my destination. Yep.
Super said, fangirls are food for exposure.
Yeah, essentially. And I don't necessarily mean that to come off as, like, you know, an arrogant asshole kind of comments. You know, it's just like, fangirls are only good for fan art. That's not what I mean. Like, I joke about that, but that's not what I mean. It's just like, the people who are most apt and most often create fan art for, you know, YouTubers and such, usually tend to be fangirl types.
Mattis says, I love you, #1 fan. And Super says, it helps grow the brand when the LLP fangirl shows the channel to her boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
That is also...
Or her other female friends who might be gamers as well, I mean...
Anybody.
It's anybody. But yeah, like I'll joke about that, but it's just like it's actually been a little disheartening for me now that I've been doing this for over a year, and our analytics are still 95% male, 5% female.
It's okay. We'll get there.
And I used to joke, like, when I was in the heat of the Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl series, like, it's because I killed dogs in every freaking episode. I don't mean to, and I don't want to. It's just the games I play.
Have a boyfriend.
Aw.
We're sorry.
Someday.
And Super says, Mr. Black is far more sensitive to people's feelings than me. I'm a very mechanical person.
Like, I can think in mechanical terms, but I try to maintain a certain level of, like, care and emotion, just because I don't necessarily want to reach the degree to which I know some people, like, as a coping mechanism to all of the negativity, that as you gain exposure on the internet, you start to accrue. It just happens. It comes part and parcel with the job. But people like Total Biscuit, that I don't necessarily mean to demean or criticize him. It's his choice. He has chosen to kind of distance himself from his audience and to take it very much as a business in what he does. And there's a worth to that, and there's a value in the sort of mental shield that comes with that approach. However, I can't bring myself to cut the connection to you guys. Like, I care far too much about my audience on a personal level to want to sever that and just be like, well, this is just a business, I'm just an entertainer. You know, I enjoy the community aspect of it as well, so... Oh god, what the hell is that?
Dawn says, I went under my house, turned an internet cable to a computer, and found a dead cat.
Yeah.
Yay!
Smelly.
Yeah, you should probably... What is... Never mind.
Corrupted hybrid. Okay. Janasa, you're a boss. You killed it.
Oh, don't worry, Maddie. You're 15. I didn't have Mr. Black here until I was 17.
Yeah, and...
So don't worry about that.
And don't let any relationship status, whether it's dudes, chicks, or anything in between that you're interested in, don't let the fact that you don't have a significant other, like, lessen your sense of self. Like, seriously, it's...
I don't know. Moobot was mean for Caps Lock, and then Maddie has disappeared. So we're wondering if she got muted.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Apologies if that's the case.
Super says TV knows how to brand his distance. That is the major difference.
That is true, actually. Like, his distance has kind of become a part of his brand, if that's what you meant. But,
Super says 26, had one girlfriend. I live a great life. Hey, I'm almost 25, had 2 boyfriends, one of which dumped me for a girl he apparently had the hots for years and never said anything. And then he dumped her for the abusive ex-girlfriend that I helped him get out of the situation with.
Real winner, that guy.
Yeah. And then Mr. B turned it all around.
And for my part, I was turned down 9 times in a row by different girls all through high school. I've had a few semi-serious relationships, and all of them ended up with the other breaking up with me, which kind of was just like, well, shit, nobody wants to stay with me for long. And then the prior one was just like, oh yeah, I've kind of been, like, doing things with this other guy that the very first time I met, I knew, like, it crossed my mind. The second I made eye contact with that guy, I'm like, I'm gonna lose her to him. And I looked at him and I knew. And I tried to avoid the self-fulfilling prophecy of it, but it happened. But anyway, happy now. Happily taken.
Yep, mine. For stamp.
But seriously, like I said, it applies to everybody. Just because you're not in a relationship, don't let that diminish your sense of self-worth.
And Cynical says, is it bad to mention right now that Maddie isn't here anymore?
Aw.
Don says, it is a petrified cat and not fresh. Looks about 2 years old.
Oh, jeez.
Ew. Presentation is 90% the battle. It's a Super. And Super says, Mr. B is more of an A+, right, Mrs. B? Oh, yeah. Like, he's not even on the letter score anymore. He's just so high up there.
I don't know about that. I think I'm handling a solid D+.
No. Noah says, so, how many core shards do I need? I think, what was it, 20?
I think it's 10 to fix your ship, but
I would get at least 100 while you're down there. Put it in a chest at the very...
and save them for other characters, because all of your characters are treated as existing in the same game world. So whatever you build, whatever you mine, any effect on the world in your game that you've had will also be present for other characters. So like, if you plan on running more than one, mine up more core shards than you actually need, just so that you don't have to go through that process again with your other characters, and just stash them in a box on the surface.
Bunny says, my problem in relationships is I'm not an emotional person. It's 20 to fix the thrusters.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was 10. Oh, well, I could easily be mistaken.
Pixel says, middle school relationships are frantically short.
Yeah,
Usually.
And the thing is, only treat them seriously insofar as they're learning experiences. You're not likely to meet the person you're going to marry in 6th grade. It's just not really likely to happen. But enjoy each other's company, you know, enjoy the learning experience of, you know, sharing yourself with another person, and enjoy that for what it is while it lasts, but don't necessarily cling to it any longer than it's really meant to last. Because that can be kind of unhealthy for everyone involved.
Super says, it is the magic found in its scarcity that makes good romance and love worthwhile.
Yeah.
That is a good way to put it, yes.
Yeah, and try to avoid... again, this applies to just about anybody. I mean, even the guys as well, who usually are just like, no, don't talk about that kind of thing. I don't care, I'll talk about it anyway, because I know it applies to you, even if you're too macho to say it. Like, don't just get into a relationship for the sake of being in one because you feel like you need to or you should. Not a healthy mindset to be in. Not good. And, you know, for anybody who's younger in the audience, I know a couple of you are. Oh, man, it's got the stupid chest daggers.
Cynical says there are about 7 learning experiences then.
Yeah.
Super says, I need to find that special girl who actually appreciates when I, 1, shoot Orsidius in Borderlands 2, not just for the awesome Skyrim mob, but also the magic that I went out of my way to one-shot him. Guys have feelings too, TLDR.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Younger folks as well, especially, even. If you're not ready to be in a relationship at all, then don't. Like, seriously, there's no need to rush into it. Like, only really do so once you're ready. And, I mean, if you're ready to start dating at, you know, 15, 19, 20 even, you know, only once you're ready. Because otherwise, that's just leaving yourself emotionally vulnerable when you're not necessarily emotionally, like, self-sufficient enough to deal with the inevitable stress of that vulnerability. So... get wrecked! I love how I'm, like, giving, like, heartfelt advice while I'm just, like, brutally massacring bandits.
Yeah, well, you know.
This is the duality of my existence.
Dating tips for Mr. B is saved.
Yeah, pretty much. Once upon a time, I fancied the concept of actually entering into, like, therapy as a profession, like becoming a therapist. And so I've actually kind of had a few, you know, lessons in how to go about that sort of thing. So
Super says, science time. There's a nerve bundle near the center of the brain, corpus callosum, I think it's called, that connects the left and right sides of the brain.
Yep.
Most emotional activity also happens in that section of the brain as well. And those nerves are considerably thicker in females versus males.
Yep. Which is why the argument that there's very little biological difference between male and female physiology is asinine and underinformed. Because there is a significant difference in many different ways. And it's why it's essentially where the stereotype of women are more touchy-feely emotional than men are. It's because physiologically, mentally, neurologically, yes, they are. They have more of the neurological, hardware that enables that. And the reason is, biologically, we evolved such that women were caretakers, and emotion, as far as like affection and attachment, is an evolutionary trait of what's the word I'm looking for? It's the bonding agent between members of an inherently pack-based society, which early man was. So there's an evolutionary reason for it.
Yes.
No, it's not to say that there aren't some that have, that diminished amount of that hardware, and males that have an amount comparable, or even in some cases exceeding that of females. But the average, the law of averages, essentially, commands that is the usual, at least, physiology.
Yep.
The fewer of these minds we venture into, the happier I'll be.
Well, too bad.
I like going into mines, especially those of rare ores like orichalcum, so you're just gonna have to deal with it, Janaza. Now, the one thing from psychology I could never keep straight is, like, the left brain, right brain thing. Like, I forget which one is, like, numbers and which one is esoterica. I know one is one and the other is the other, but...
I don't know. Don't look at me.
I don't know.
Noah says, there is no biological difference between males and females. Right, except for hip size and arrangement, brain development, and the whole ovaries thing. And Super says, neurologically, humans were supposed to become a patriarchal society. Women would care for the children while men were nomadic. We actually overcame evolutionary design for monogamous relationships.
I'm not sure it's necessarily accurate to say that we were, destined to become a patriarchal society. More or less that, evolutionarily, the different sexes had different roles within an inherently cooperative social structure. It's not necessarily to say that anyone has, any sort of, hierarchy over the other. It's just different roles we evolved to fill within a social group.
Neurologically, this is super... Oh, wait, we already saw that. Never mind. Pixel says, I love the female thigh hip arrangement. It just looks comfy.
And a thing that I've spoken about with some of my friends in the military before, regarding some of the debates regarding like military PT standards and stuff, is that females are born with more muscle fiber, which is to say potential muscle strength and mass in their lower body, whereas males are born with more muscle fiber in the upper body, and that's essentially the foundation by which they can establish the core strength patterns. So it's more reasonable to expect more lower body performance out of a female and more upper body performance out of a male, which is why females generally tend to be, with the proper training, much more efficient runners. They tend to have higher running endurance. They can support higher loads if it's actually distributed across their body properly. Their legs can simply support it because females evolved to carry children. That's an extra several pounds they're not usually going to have. So, males, on the other hand, evolved to have more upper body, which is to say more to do with, fighting and hunting and that sort of thing. And so I'm of the mind and in the camp that military PT's tests should be geared toward the physiological standard by which each gender is, or not gender, sex rather, is essentially, like in gaming terms, optimized toward a different build. I guess it's just because those are the terms my brain operates in, but that goes off into realms where, like, certain ones of my friends are, like, deeply entrenched in one camp or another, So there's certain ones I'm just like, don't even bring that up.
Both have their place. Oh. Pixel says, I'd rather have curves than slender sides. And Super says, both have their place, Pixel. It's better to be toned over having meaningless weight, which stresses the skeleton, among other things. Pixel says, I'm the best at both halves. My mom's side of the family were runners, and my dad, something that I didn't see.
I don't know. As I see it, you know, no one arrangement, at least that's within a... did you just call me a barbarian? How dare you? You know, no one that's within a healthy body composition, at least, is necessarily better than the other. It's more a matter of personal taste and predilection, really. Like, I've never understood that, you know, some people get very, like, up in arms and angry when someone says, I'm not really attracted to that. Like, that's not an offensive statement. That's just mentioning one's taste. It's if you say that I don't think she should look like that. Like, that's an offensive statement. But just saying, yeah, I'm not into that. That's fine. That's just mentioning what one is into.
Pixel says, my dad says that upper body strength. And Super says, they actually do the overhaul the PT test requirements each few years if too large of one gender was being rejected.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's still some work to do in that regard, but I'm not necessarily close enough to the issue, not serving in the military myself, to comment on it with any real depth. So, in those matters, I tend to defer to my friends with much more hands-on experience. Alright. I think I've got a heavy enough load, and I've now accomplished my mission. I'm gonna head back home. Although, since sometimes my game... pardon me. Got a weird hiccup thing. Sometimes my game crashes upon fast travel. I'm gonna save real quick. And any of you guys that have not seen this player home, I highly recommend it if you're running a character that it fits, because it's one of Eleonora's somewhat more recent player homes.
I love Eleonora.
And like her work is amazing. And this one is just like one of her piece de resistance mods.
LLP, 15% game, 82% random tangents, 3% life stories of Mr. B.
Pretty much. Like, I try to keep things on at least an uninflammatory basis. Like, I don't mind discussing social things. I try to keep, like, politics and religion out of the discussion, because that gets really inflammatory, and that's why they're off the table in our community guidelines down below. But, you know, things that are more, you know, just kind of social and universal to most of us, yeah, I don't mind discussing that. Especially because I think most of us at this point have played the hell out of Skyrim, and so I can only commentate so much upon the game. And somewhere along the line, certain streams of mine turn into, like, podcasts with gameplay in the background. I need to remind myself where I even put stuff in this house. Alright, this is where my books wound up. Yes, there we are. Okay, so you... yeah, you're pretty much all of them. Okay. Which means I need to get my books out of here. Da-na-na-na. Yeah, let's just take all. Okay.
Quiz time for Mr. B. When was Skyrim released? I know this answer.
11/11/11.
Yep.
I was way overhyped for this game,
yes.
so I still have that release date memorized.
Same says, wish I could play Skyrim.
I wish you could too.
And Pixel says, same here. Same here.
But seriously, like, I would probably have lost interest in this game a long time ago if it were not for the modding community. Just consistently adding what amounts to new content, whether or not it's official or not. And there are certain whole, like, essentially DLC mods like Fallscar and what's the
Moonpath to
yeah,
Elsewhere.
Moonpath to Elsewhere. I've never gotten around to playing, but I know they're extremely highly regarded. And like for the Fallout games, the Sun Guy series, like New Vegas Bounties and what is it, The Inheritance, and of course Bounties 2.
Never cared for Skyrim. Just felt like a boring game to me, says Bunny.
It is a